song.
Last week we did Bootylicious.
No, no, we did not. That's still
We
the
don't have
most.
to do the theme of the week of Hole.
You mean from Kurt Cobain's old wife?
Now here Echo.
Now you hear echo?
Yeah.
Of course, the echo will happen when we go live.
Are we live now?
We are live. You told me at 11 o'clock. That's where I hit live.
Oh, well now
Oh,
thank
we
you.
have a song today. Okay, a whole new world.
We're not singing.
All right. Hey, stay off! Yes!
How Cardi B?
I don't know.
It's up, and 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 it's up, and
You
it's
know
up.
what? On that note, I'm about to start the show. I think everyone know now that Sharpie wife is gonna be on the show. It's only a matter of time, and it goes a little something like this.
Time.
Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am Eric.
The hater. I'm Lord Manny. Hey,
Oh, and I'm Marcus in grand finale.
You know, it's funny.
You said, and I waited for the first time for Manny to go, and I'm joined by, because I never wait for that part, cut him off in the middle of it, and this time I waited. It was like, oh wait, different show.
But on our show, we never say that on there. But with that being
Oh,
said,
that's huge echo.
now you hear Hughes echo.
Yep.
Oh, maybe if I turn this way, do you hear the echo now?
No.
You don't-
No.
But
No.
I look sideways on the camera though. But that's all right. We are joined, especially by it's back
Special
again.
guest, Cameron Hopkins.
Come on.
Yeah, I get it. Family Matters.
That's Rachel.
Wow.
That's Rachel. Running her restaurant that you know was going under. They had no customers in there ever. Ever. What was the name of that restaurant?
Rachel's Place.
Yes. Marcus, everybody knew it was called Rachel's Place, but you apparently.
I forgot, all right? Do you think you were ever going to do a spin-off called Rachel's Place?
No.
I feel like-
Not 1 minute.
I felt like Thelma Hawkins was a spin-off called Rachel's Place.
You know,
They did focus on her for a little bit in the beginning. So, it was a possibility.
Manny, I'm so sorry. I know they are talking about a show you have no idea about. This
Yeah, but you seem more bothered about it than I do.
because I understand we are on the time crunch, and then I hear this echo, and it's going to drive me crazy.
That echo's terrible.
Yes, because we're in the same room. Is it better this way?
They're in the same room and not looking at each other. It's like we're facilitating couples therapy, Marcus.
I don't understand why the echo is happening now.
Well, mute one microphone until the other one talks. Huh?
Okay, I'll do it.
Marcus, you guys are on the same track.
No, I mean, she can mute her Skype call.
Oh,
I'm glad we didn't plan this out.
okay, well, that can work, but hopefully she remembers when I throw it to her. Anyway, like I was saying, we are joined by... What, Marcus? You cut me off, man. We are joined by Shantae, my wife. She decided to join us. Just so happened it was on Valentine's weekend. It means absolutely nothing for that, but she decided... Hey, I don't celebrate Valentine's. We know. I think it's a stupid holiday. I've said it numerous times on this show. We're not going to address that because we're in a time crunch. However, she out of the kindness of her heart, she sat down and suffered with me through this week of professional wrestling. And with that being said, I will throw it over to her. Shantae, how did you make it through this week in wrestling?
It wasn't a suffer. Okay. It was actually good. And I mean, I got through it. It's like a soap opera. Just a lot of action in a wrestling ring. But
Meat on meat.
oh my gosh! Like I even asked Eric questions like, how do they not get excited when there's a lot of meat on it? So like, what is going on here? There's a lot of rubbing, a lot of tackling. So kudos to them.
If you want to hear something that is probably the most hardest thing, is probably was more difficult for me because watching with Shantae, she keeps pointing out, hey, look at their butt. Oh, he has no butt. Oh, look at that. Oh, Big E thighs, they rub together. Look how dark they are in between there. It was it's a lot of things that
Hold on. Why didn't you record this?
We should have had a times to the speed of you guys watching, and they cut in to when her responses to Big E's thighs.
Manny, I did not know what she was going to say, but at the end of the day, she said it. It's a moment. I guess it brings couples closer together. Grunge Smurf is already in the chat room. He says instantly the best episode ever. Sharpie wife. I mean, Shantae already has a fan base and she's never been on the show. With that being said, I'm going to allow her to direct the direction of the show. So Shantae, of the 4 shows that you watched this week, give me your rank from your favorite to your least in that order.
Okay, Monday was that Raw?
That is Raw.
Yeah.
That is Raw.
Okay. So Raw was my favorite. And then
Raw wins.
You know what? It's a tie between Smackdown and NXT and then AEW.
All right. So with that being said, we will talk about Monday Night Raw first. So Monday Night Raw started off probably one of the most useless fashion of all time. We had a unnecessary appearance by Shane McMahon. He shows up clearly after Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce has already determined who's going to be in the Elimination Chamber to face Drew McIntyre. They were all former champions. Shane showed up. Manny, since, he was wearing ones or some version of ones that he has, and he's a shoe man, I turn to you first. Did you like the appearance of Shane McMahon starting off Monday Night Raw?
No, he served no purpose at all. He was there for the opening segment to tell Adam Pearce he did a good job. And then the spot with Drew in the parking lot, and then he was gone. There was no point for him to even be on this show.
No, it was like he was passing through. Like, I'm just in the neighborhood. Let's see what they're doing here.
Marcus,
my dad's business.
I was going to throw it to you last, but since you already chimed in, Marcus, what do you feel about the participants that Adam Pearce selected that Shane had no input on?
Well, I watched Manny eat this pie.
It's dinner time. Leave me alone.
Just like Manny eating that pie. Hold on. Just like Manny eating that pie, I thought Jeff Hardy was unnecessary for the show. They should have added Kofi. He is a former champion who gets no respect in this company because he's black. In Black History Month, he should have been accepted into that chamber match.
He doesn't get any respect because of his hairline doesn't get any respect. Shantae, I turn to you. The opening segment, I know you would ask me, why is Shane there? And then they started doing all those things. Please don't unmute yourself until I finish the question. How did you like the opening of Monday Night Raw?
So I don't know the whole storyline about that, so I didn't know that Shane was a big issue. But I did notice the shoes. And so Eric told me to ask you, Manny, what type of shoes those were that he was wearing.
They were definitely Jordan 1s, but I didn't actually get a close look at which ones they were.
Yeah, because it was yellow on the bottom. I was like, what's going on here? I never seen shoes like that. So, yeah, Eric told me that he had a big collection of shoes. So, yeah, I know this is not about wrestling, but the shoes were good. And that's all I can say about that.
I'm going to say those shoes are expensive. That's why we don't know what they are.
I'm pretty sure.
We don't know.
Made
we
only
can't afford.
Custom made.
We can't afford what those shoes were.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Shane McMahon. Yeah. All right. Moving on.
That's how everybody felt.
Anyone notice the look between Shane McMahon and Omos when he walked past him when AJ came out?
Well, they had to acknowledge that at one point that Shane McMahon actually hired that man to work for him, and I guess we're supposed to retcon everything that the Raw Underground never existed. It's kind of like the match between AJ and Jeff Hardy never existed. We didn't need this match because, as Marcus said, I don't think anybody wanted Jeff Hardy in the Elimination Chamber because I honestly can't remember when he was the WWE Champion. But who am I to judge what happened in that situation?
It's got to be 15 years ago.
I remember him defending against Randy Orton at one point.
Was it the CM Punk feud in which he became champion?
It might have been.
But
for the sake of time, though, for Monday Night Raw, I'm going to fast forward through some things that don't need to be mentioned, and we're going to touch on this real quickly. It's the Lacey Evans, Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair situation. I'm going to turn to Shantae first. Shantae, this whole storyline, this was your first dose of it. What was your overall impressions of what was going on between that trio of individuals?
Okay. I'm on mute. All right.
I like that she's live from Afghanistan. You get the delay for when she answers.
Yeah, Shantae, if you just hold your ear as well at the same time you answer.
Wait, what happened?
Because every time Eric asks you a question, you're on a delay because you have to unmute. So if you just hold your ear like this, it looks like you're in Afghanistan.
You got me? Okay, we're coming in right now. Coming in live. Yes, Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair and Lacey, what's her name? Evans? Okay. So, that was entertaining for, I guess, one of the matches that happened on the night. Well, actually, can we go back to the first one? I actually liked that match, even though you guys said it wasn't needed, but I liked it. So,
I like that, Eric.
Fair.
Say this out. The Jeff Hardy matters.
I do like them apples, Eric. I do like them apples.
Just like Marcus Dives, they matter too, I guess. What can I say?
I didn't get no Ray Phoenix dive this week, so
But you got a Lee Daniels dive. I think that's his name, or Lee Davis. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his name is, man. Shut up. Shantae, please continue giving us the analysis of Lacey Evans, Charlotte, and Ric Flair. Do you think that Charlotte is warranted in being angry at Lacey for trying to screw her father?
No. He's a grown ass man. If he wants something young like that, or I thought she was old and somebody's mama. But if he wants that, then that's his prerogative. But Charlotte, go ahead. What'd you say?
His mother.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, if that's the case, whatever. Charlotte just needs to go with the flow. Do what she got to do. Oh well, her dad picked that other girl over her. That's her problem. Sounds like personal problem. She just needs to fight. That's all I gotta say.
Marcus, chime it in. Shantae said that Charlotte need to get over her daddy issues and move on and try to focus on the title. Do you agree with Shantae's analysis being the only female to give an opinion on this?
Well, yes, Eric, I 100% agree with Shantae on this one. I believe that to break this down into movie form, this is the equivalent of the movie Baby Boy, where Jody needs to get out the house and live his life and let his mama sleep with Ben Reigns. He shouldn't be there to see Ben Reigns cooking those eggs butt naked. That's what I'm saying. Move on.
Maddie, do you have anything to add? Because I don't know if you can top what Shantae and Marcus have added to this conversation, but go ahead and try.
Well, it's evident that Ric Flair needs to stay at home, and this is all based on Ric Flair being told to stay home. And the fact that Ric Flair's promo said he will never listen to a woman, ever, and look at his history and his history of divorce. It's pretty evident that this man is uncontrollable, and we need to stop him from coming to TV. So Charlotte is in a damn right mind to try and prevent this from happening, because Charlotte is trying to save the Flair legacy, while Ric Flair is damaging the Flair legacy.
He's just old.
Since we're talking about legacies, a legacy that's being built on Monday Night Raw is a legacy that many people may not want, but for money's sake, it makes sense. That is the legacy of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny appeared on Monday Night Raw to make that money, and it even brought back the missing Angel Garza to be paired with The Miz and John Morrison in the Damian Priest Bad Bunny skit. For me personally, I felt this was the jump off point for when Raw really started getting momentum and became very entertaining for me. Manny, I don't know if Bad Bunny's music has jumped overseas, but are you enjoying how they're incorporating Bad Bunny into the WWE environment with Damian Priest?
Well, I said to Marcus on Tuesday, I think the fact that Damian Priest has debuted on Raw and Bad Bunny has had to help him win twice now, it kind of hurts Damian Priest going forward. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
With me, I don't feel... I think it gives him a little bit more notoriety with that. I mean, the one thing I'll turn to Shantae, because Shantae was actually somewhat impressed with Damian Priest, if I remember correctly. She kind of liked his gimmick that was going on for him. Am I correct?
Right. We're here. So what I was impressed with was Bad Bunny slippers he had on when he was just hopping up into the wrestling the ring with the slippers and they didn't come off. That's what I was impressed with. Other than that, yeah, you're right. It was a good match. I don't know this guy, Damian Priest, doesn't he? So yeah, it was good. That's all I gotta say. All right, back to you.
Marcus, take us home. This overall segment, what did you feel about it?
Oh, I thought it was fine. It was whatever. Angel Garza deserves better, in my opinion. He's been doing nothing since he's come up since they fired Selena Vega. And since the fallout of Selena Vega, I like Angel Garza and Andrade have all went missing, basically. And I think it's an injustice. Overall, I feel it's fine that Damian Priest is working with Bad Bunny. I don't care if he's helping him win. It's giving him more notoriety, like you said earlier. And I feel like it's a better debut on Raw than Keith Lee has ever had.
Well, it's funny that you bring up Keith Lee, Marcus, because Keith Lee made his return. And congratulations to Keith Lee and Mia Yim, also known as Reckoning and Retribution. They are now engaged to be married. But Keith Lee went against Matt Riddle. For me, arguably, I think this was one of my favorite matches of the night. I enjoyed this match so much, and considering when I looked on Facebook, these two individuals have so much history with each other, it's no wonder why they were really good in the ring with each other. Marcus, going into that match, did you enjoy what Matt Riddle and Keith Lee put on display for us to watch?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match, and, you know, it was one of those matches where I didn't know who was going to win. It could go either way. Whether WWE has, you know, whether they were like, I'm done with Keith Lee and we're going to push Matt Riddle. It could have went either way. I was happy Keith Lee got the win. Solid match, though. Really good. Enjoyable.
Manny, do you share the same sentiments as Marcus?
Yeah, it was a really good match. It was quite similar to the match we watched on the Keith Lee watch-along. You know, the one where you walked out on to make a sandwich. Yeah, very good match. And really enjoyable.
Nasty.
And both of them came out looking strong, right? Where you kind of thought, you know, Keith Lee is probably going to come out losing this match when you looked at it.
All right, and throwing it over to the desk across from me, Shantae, what did you take away from the match between Riddle and Keith Lee?
Has nothing to do with wrestling. Keith Lee, when it looked like he had makeup on. His whole skin was just so smooth. I just had to give it up for the skin. The skin was coming out so smooth. And, you know, I just want to, you know, put that out. Shout out to Keith Lee and his skincare routine. And Matt Riddle and them feet. Oh, my God. Like, wow. Okay. You know, impressive. So, yeah, that's all. Back to you.
And his feet. Oh.
The analysis that we're getting there is earth-shattering.
I think going forward, we need to talk about skin.
Yeah, skincare.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what Keith Lee does to help his skin. He puts Vaseline on his face and looks in the mirror and believe.
Shout out to R-Truth.
Vaseline and believe. That's all you got to do.
All right, so it's only a couple more things on Monday Night Raw, and it would be remiss if I didn't talk about I would say, well, I'll just. You can kiss my grit. Wrong button. My bad.
Grits. Kiss my grit. Kiss my grit. And I know they don't connect. Well, I know what clip you're gonna play, but somehow they work well together.
I hit the wrong button. I'm so embarrassed. And you know, I should have had. I was looking at the buttons. I was like, I don't know which button's the right one. But as I was hitting this one,
Through the table.
Nia Jax's hole took abuse. And Marcus, I'm gonna turn to you first. What is more heartbreaking, Nia Jax's hole being collapsed, or Lana actually getting this win over Nia Jax?
I was happy to see Lana get that ass. Lana did it. She did it, and this was a long time coming. The whole thing, no pun intended.
How dare you?
I didn't intend that. I didn't intend that one.
I'm more upset that Eric's not telling us the whole story.
That's true. Well played. But the thing with the whole, it's one of those things where you just go like, what could you talk about? That just happened. And then the fact that they edited this out on YouTube and then brought it back on Smackdown shows that I actually to sell the whole t-shirt. I mean, sell a whole t-shirt.
Considering that anything that Nia Jax does gets extreme heat, it's actually nice to see her actually do something that had some type of positive feedback. I'm not really sure, is this where she wanted to have her legacy be built? But at the same time, it was worth and it was entertaining. Manny, you normally hate Nia Jax. Did you hate her in this moment?
Eric, I was contemplating giving this 5 stars and then taking that DSPN title of Marcus.
Electric says the whole show is out of control.
Nia Jax is the whole effing show.
And I guess I'll play it. No, I'm going to turn it to Shantae. Shantae, you had a lot of things to say about Nia Jax because you also said those things on SmackDown. We will move there also. Overall, did you feel bad for her hole?
Nah, she had like a weird look on her face like, wait, pain or pleasure? When she said it. Oh. Some hotels going on over there. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. Got to see what's her name? Is Trin? No, that's her real name. What's the black girl name?
Naomi is her real name.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to see her. Didn't like her hairstyle, but you know, whatever. And what's the Shayna Baszler? Is that her name? Yeah.
Got it right. Your boy.
Let me do one of these.
That's my producer. He ain't gonna help you.
But no, yeah, it was good. It was fun. I didn't realize what was happening until Eric pointed it out, and he said someone said it on wrestling or on the Facebook or something like that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, back to you guys.
As she is throwing it back to me, I'm going to throw it right back. I'm going to throw it right back to her for the last segment to clear out Raw. But I just have to hear this one more time.
Jax through the table.
And you know what? Shout out to Zema Ion, Joaquin Phoenix, or Joaquin Wild.
Joaquin Wild.
Because, you know, he actually suffered a ruptured colon at one point in his career, and he knows what it feels like for his hole to be damaged. Yeah. That sounds so bad on so many different ways.
Why
did you bring that up?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just set that out. Do we got to talk about everybody with hole injuries?
No.
Let's go through the list. My homie Chico in prison.
First of all, you got a homie Chico, Marcus?
Homie named Chico in prison, man. Gonna get out one day.
The lumber chat is turning on me because I have not been paying attention to him. El Luchador says Ryan should run the lumber chat. You don't want Ryan to run anything because he will quit when you think he's going to be there. Grunge Smurf says there won't bring up my fetish. I don't have any fetish. That is a false narrative of porn that was created by whoever decided to create that narrative. And with that being said, I'm going to have to deal with this because I'm going to throw it to Shantae to talk about the main event of Monday Night Raw, which I think she told me was her favorite match. That was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Marcus already knows why I already have some anger in my voice, but we will go anyway. Shantae, what did you think of Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre?
Wait, do I have to talk about the whole match?
Just talk about what you
play by play?
Nah.
Just talk about what you cared about the match.
Oh, well, you know, Randy Orton. That's it. Drew McIntyre, I mean, he looked real sinister, man. I don't know why he's a good guy. He should be a sinister guy. Something to that effect. But, yeah, he looked like serial killer. But Randy Orton looked pretty nice. Pretty nice. You know, because the last time I saw him, he looked old. But he must do something. He must got with keep leaving that skincare routine and did something. Because he looked good. And that's all I got to say about the match.
Can I chime in out here?
Marcus, feel free. Go ahead, Marcus.
Eric, I don't know what he did with his skincare, but 2 weeks ago, his face was set on fire.
Hey, that sock that he had over that luchador mask, whatever cream he out there, it was juices and berries and hilly cream. They ain't nothing but cocoa butter. That was cocoa butter and Vaseline together mixed at the right temperature that made his skin glow to make Sharpie White swoon. But go ahead, Marcus. Continue with your point for the main event.
Also, that she called Drew McIntyre sinister. He can go by the sinister Scotsman now. I mean, if you were to reverse the roles, I feel like it wouldn't work since Randy Orton has lit somebody on fire in recent weeks. Like, he's done nothing good. She is trusting a pretty face, apparently. So, yeah, I thought the match was solid. I was shocked that there was no Fiend/Bliss action at the end of this. There was no real, like, thing that, you know, paranormal activity that we get from this. And I was happy because we didn't have a Fiend interview. And I was dead tired when I was watching this.
I was
We
disappointed.
were both tired on that.
I was disappointed because I would have I didn't realize you guys had invested interest into that Marcus is connected to the Fiend if the Fiend shows up. El Luchador, it's a possibility that Sharpie Wife will leave me for Randy Orton just for one night. That's you know, that's what could happen. I just have to bite that bullet. Manny, the main event for yourself, what did you think of it?
It was missing Alexa Bliss. 100%. The whole show missed Alexa Bliss.
Our
thumbnails missed Alexa Bliss last week. It was hard to get to 100 views on that show last week.
So you guys never had, or they never had two bad guys fight each other?
Oh, plenty of time.
Because you were saying that it wouldn't be good if it was reversed, if Randy was a good guy and Drew McIntyre is a bad guy.
I'm saying, considering Randy's story of setting people on fire and kicking over it doesn't make sense for him to be a good guy at this current moment.
Oh, okay. But they could have been two bad guys, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so now let me jump over to the SmackDown side of things because SmackDown started off very similar as Monday Night Raw. It was the announcement for the Elimination Chamber, and instead, though, it would not be former champions, but it would be qualifying matches to let people get into the Elimination Chamber to face Roman. However, Roman said, that's not how it works. What's going to happen is that these fools will fight each other, and then after that person is tired and made it through the Elimination Chamber, he will then fight me for my title. Marcus, you're known to make power moves. I feel like this is a move you would make. Don't, Mark, just roll with it, man. Just roll with it. Marcus, I feel that you would make that same decision that Roman made. Am I correct?
Well, anybody that has the power to make that decision will make that decision. I'm sure if you ask, I can't think of a popular UFC fighter, Amanda Nunes, if she had to fight anybody after they fought in an elimination chamber, she gonna take that shit too. I'm defending my title and I'm retaining my title because I'm gonna whoop your ass at the end of it. I thought Roman came off as intimidating, and I think one day somebody needs to slap the shit out of him. Just say.
Now, Manny, going into SmackDown, there was a lot of grumblings about Monday Night Raw and using a bunch of old stars to participate in the Elimination Chamber. They were accusing WWE of not presenting new, youthful participants. Manny, do you think on SmackDown they tried to right that wrong by having these qualifying matches with some of the younger, not overused talent that exist in WWE?
I think you threw. Well, hang on. You know about Dolph Ziggler, and you're talking about Bobby Roode. They are old dogs. They're not just dirty dogs. They are old.
But
dogs.
Manny, we knew when those dirty dogs put themselves into that match, they weren't winning that match. We knew no matter what they did to Cesaro, they weren't getting into that match.
Hey, Rey Mysterio's 900 years old in dog years. 900 years old in dog years.
But I also knew.
But they're replacement knees though. They're like 6.
But I also knew that hype beast Dominic and his daddy wasn't winning against Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin, who apparently throughout the night became a unholy alliance until the end of the show. I think for me, my biggest disappointment of the Elimination Chamber is the omission of the United States champion, Bobby Lashley, and the Intercontinental champion, Big E. With that being said, Manny, do you think it's proper to have those two champions not involved in the Elimination Chamber and be in their own island of things, or are you okay where they're at?
Well, with Big E being the Intercontinental Champion and not being recognized in this match, is that what you're trying to say? I feel like there's something bigger going on with him and Apollo, so I feel like you could put that match on the side. I feel like if you put Big E into this match, all it's going to be is overshadow the Intercontinental title again, where it doesn't mean anything. Where it looks like they're trying to make something of it within the mid card. So I think it's a good thing they kept it separate, so you can continue whatever's going on between him and Apollo.
Now, I saw the smile on Shantae's face, and I know why, so I'm going to throw it to her right now, because I know the Big E Apollo Crews interaction had you laughing and enjoying that whole entire segment of them having this, we called it a black moment. Explain to the listeners why we enjoyed that, why we enjoyed it so much.
Well, I mean, it was just like at any other neighborhood corner liquor store. You walk in, you see two black guys arguing about nothing in particular, just something stupid, and just rambling on. Hopefully no guns come out, but most likely it does. But this is wrestling, of course it's not going to be any guns. Well, shoot, I don't know.
Ryan Pillman had a gun. That was okay. White man brought out a gun. I'm going to say that. It's Steve Austin. He was going to shoot that man.
What? Oh, okay. But yeah, that was just it, because it just reminded me of old neighborhood issues. Someone at somebody's gate in front of somebody's house arguing. Someone's at a liquor store on the corner. Someone in some driveway. It's someone's at the grill arguing. I make it better than you. You make it better. No. So yeah, that's why it was entertaining. Yeah, and then I liked how they were getting each other's face. But yeah, that's it.
Marcus, my question for you to piggyback off of what Shantae said, Marcus. Now, the match took place between Nakamura and Big E, and Apollo Crews couldn't let his bitter ass leave from ringside. He was out there making faces at Big E, so he finally got frustrated and got involved and landed a drop kick, causing a disqualification. My question for you, Marcus, who should be more upset at Apollo Crews, Big E or Nakamura?
Well, Nakamura should be upset with the whole night. The whole night. One, Nakamura weeks ago basically won that gauntlet match and has gotten zero respect since winning that gauntlet match. He wasn't thrown in the Elimination Chamber. He hasn't did anything. He even took off his shirt for tonight for the Intercontinental. Manny, I'll pass it to you with the hand.
Marcus, it's February now. It's February now. Nakamura only did that for Wrestle Kingdom season. It's over. It's over. He's done. He's now coasting till next January.
And Marcus, you also have to recognize Marcus, it is Black History Month, so you have to promote Black stars. I mean, that's why Lee, whatever that dude on AEW got promoted.
That has nothing to do with the Elimination Chamber. Has nothing to do with the Elimination Chamber. Just say he could have been in there. Everybody in the Elimination Chamber is white. Could have threw in a man of color, Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm just saying. And he should be infuriated with Apollo ass doing that drop kick. I would have been pissed. He could have won his Intercontinental title match when I was getting his rematch. Finally, it was ridiculous. Apollo needs to go home. Needs to go back to catering. This needs to go back to catering.
Betty, are you sending Apollo back to catering like Marcus, or do you feel like Apollo should have got another bite at the apple at that title?
No, Apollo was trying to ruin Black and Asian relations. That's what he was doing. As the spokesperson for the Asian delegation, I think Apollo should be. I think Apollo should be writing to the Black delegation and writing an official apology to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, but the problem is in the Black delegation, we have so many people who will support Apollo being the bitter Black delegation section of just being bitter and black because he can't get the job done. He's
bringing Black people down. Big E is trying to be a fighting champion. He's trying to be like a John Cena out there doing open challenges and stuff. And then here's Big E ruining Apollo ruining the whole damn thing. Damn. Two brothers who lost their last name. Over a piece of gold. Over a piece of gold. We don't need this in the community.
It's kind of like arguing over whoever burnt the meat on the grill, pretty much. Like, that uncle's blaming the other uncle. It's kind of like when our uncle got so pissed off, Marcus. Remember, he stood by that tree in front of our house for about 3 hours because of that domino game. I still don't know what happened, but someone cheated him. Uncle Elaine, may he rest in peace. But he was bitter on that day.
Yes, he was pissed.
On that day in Black History.
I had this private conversation.
On that day in Black History.
This day in Black History. Two brothers arguing. I bet you that's going on right outside my place right now. Two brothers having a very quiet conversation. Arguing at the top, getting ready to go at the top of their lungs. Shoot.
With that being said, another brother who's not a brother, but he's an honorary brother by so many people, my brother Seth Rollins made his return to the ring.
He's not black. He's only black by last name. He is not black. I don't care how many times he's been in Martin Luther King's Hotel Museum. He ain't black, Eric.
Marcus, he is there for us. He literally went to Smackdown and cut the same exact speech he did on Monday Night Raw where everybody walked out on him before. Only person who stayed around was Cesaro, who knee got clipped, but he still made it to the Elimination Chamber. I'm turning to Sharpie wife because, she's getting love in the chat room because Chris says, finally talking about something black. Guess the Sharpie wife had to be here to set things straight. Appreciate you, Shantae.
He was mad at you apparently last week.
He can always be mad at me. But Shantae, going on, Seth Rollins made his return. He's the Messiah. They all walked out on him. I remember you laughing a lot at this segment.
Yeah.
I got the one word answer. Yeah. Back to you, Chip.
Back to you. Because that's all I gotta say. Was he just rumbling, talking about whatever? He's a leader because he's had a baby, so he became a father, and that makes him qualified to be a leader, I guess. Whatever. And then everyone started walking out, and then he hit Cesaro. How do you say his name? Cesaro, right? In the knee or whatever, and Daniel Bryan comes out and saves the day, and that's it. That's all I got. Back to you.
Shantae, I will let you know we do accept answers over here. Manny has gotten by this whole show with answers for a long time.
Okay. How dare you?
Manny, you know it's true.
On the Saturday show, I take my time. I take the day off.
I understand what you do. But you know how many times it's been, when I was getting flamed in the chat room that one time by that one guy who ain't never been back, and I tried to ask you a long question and you didn't give me what I needed? And
because I knew what you did. Because if you want to carry on arguing with someone in the chat room, you ask Marcus the question.
I did.
Marcus will go on for 5 hours.
He will.
How dare you? I do not talk that much. How dare you?
So,
how dare you? Because everyone else is saying it though.
Yeah, the audacity. And I'm gonna try.
That leather suit, though.
No, Manny.
No,
Manny,
suit.
not the leather suit. The leather suit, the leather shirt, the leather tie. As Shantae told me, we was watching, she was like, you only can wear that once. You can only wear it once. But you have to be hot.
That motherfucker was hot. Under that. With his fruit by the foot tie. That tie looked like a fruit by the foot. It was ridiculous outfit. It was a ridiculous outfit. I would have walked out on him because he wore that outfit. It's ridiculous. He came out there talking about he had new father, he had changed. I don't know why the Mysterios came out there. He ain't got nothing he can say to me when he took my daddy out. He took my daddy out. He ain't nothing you can say to me to say that's a changed man in there. He ain't shit, and he ain't going to be shit. I don't care how many kids he have.
Marcus, you sound like you're channeling your inner Apollo Crews right there, man. You sound like the bitter black man in front of the liquor store.
None of this segment made sense. Why did they all have to walk out there to hear what Seth had to say? Did he ask them?
Yeah, I think he did.
The only thing he changed was he brought back Burn It Down.
So, Manny, I have a question for you. It feels like our beloved Billie Kay is still chasing waterfalls. She is trying to get into the good graces of the Riot Squad, and
fuck the Riot
she
Squad.
ended up costing Liv Morgan a match.
No, she didn't. who threw those resumes into the ring?
I think it was Ruby Riott. I believe it was Ruby Riott.
Yeah, so Ruby Riott distracted Liv and the referee. Not Billie Kay. How dare you speak ill of Billie Kay?
My big issue with this whole segment was the fact that the referee never really take that much time to clear debris out of the ring. I don't understand what was so dangerous about those Billie Kay photos that he had to get them out of the ring right
that hot
then
fire,
and there.
Eric. That hot fire.
He was keeping up for himself. Like, this is souvenirs.
Possibly.
I'm going to sell this on eBay. That was like throwing cash in the ring. He told her that girl.
I have to chime in and say, what's her name? Bailey. She looked like someone's drunk auntie in the trailer. Sorry if someone lives in the trailer. What she looks like. That's what she
don't worry about offending people.
All right. But man, that was awful.
People.
We offend people daily.
I do it by
no matter who you are. Yeah. Eric's looking out his window now. Look at her. Like, what? Why? There's no reason.
Marcus, you don't know how truthful that is because I have already judged somebody I saw walking through my window. I was like, why the hell they wearing that? You know, you're right. I mean,
you judge the executioner.
I am.
Go. The Tobacco Betty is bullshit that they're blaming Billie Kay, but I'm liking this deadly. It's gonna be the deadly alliance of Billie Kay and Bailey. It's the deadly alliance. Ain't ready for that. You ain't ready for that on SmackDown.
It's gonna be great.
When Billie Kay finally gives the big boot to the Riot Squad and join up with Bailey, Eric, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the moment. That's gonna be Austin 316 right there.
Now, Marcus, I gave Manny the Billie Kay question, but I have a question for you now, Marcus.
Yes.
Is Reginald at the point in his career now where he's just shooting his shot at Sasha? Because I thought he had brought her a bottle of champagne that was about to poison her, but clearly there was no poison in that champagne to the point where I think Carmella is disappeared, and now Reginald and Sasha might be a thing.
Well, he gave her the wine. Eric is wine. He's a sommelier.
No, he's a sommelier that also specializes in champagne too, I've heard.
You're just giving.
Are we having this conversation again?
We're having this conversation again, Betty.
Mark refused to believe that there could be black sommeliers.
I believe there could be a black. No, I believe there could be a black sommelier.
No, last week you said it could not be.
No, I said I would prefer prefer to have the white French sommelier than the black sommelier. I don't trust Reginald. Okay? Yes, I'm racist. I picked the white dog. Okay?
Black History Month. How dare you?
Damn, Mark.
I don't trust Reginald. Okay? Reginald ain't shit. His name's Reggie. You can't trust him. Dang.
Well, neither is Sasha for hanging out with Kalisto in the back. Like, I just don't see it.
Yep.
Hey, but at least he was dressed to work this week. I don't know why he was dressed to work.
Sasha's a snake.
She is.
And when she came out at the end of the match later in the evening, snake. I know what she was doing. Snake.
So they can't hear you because you were muted.
It's a story of snakes.
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I just thought that was kind of rude. She came out with the Street Profits?
Yeah.
Did I say that right? All right. Yeah, they were just finishing their match, and it was like, can they celebrate, do whatever they have to do? But yeah, okay.
So you know what, Shantae trying to be mild, because you know what, this is where Shantae has some hater in her right now, and I'm about to pull back. Ding dong, hello, I'm about to tell everybody who Shantae was. Shantae was sitting there when the Street Profits left, and just said, I don't know why Sasha non-dancing ass is out there. She can't dance. She can't have no rhythm. She just up there just moving, and she messing. And that's why she was so upset about that entire segment, because she said her non-dancing ass. Now, I'm going to go back and say that I thought once they made it to the ring and Sasha said whatever she said, and then she was interrupted by Bianca Belair, I thought Bianca and Sasha had great chemistry with each other. Shantae was enjoying the segment, and then Nia and Shayna showed up, and then unfortunately it looks like we're going to do the typical thing to WrestleMania where they're going to team up somehow, some way, probably end up being tag champs, and then turn on people. Shantae, yeah. I know you're a big supporter of Bianca Belair. Were you happy to see Bianca pretty much outshine Sasha in that segment?
Yeah, her whole mannerism, like everything that Sasha would like to be to show as she's a boss. Bianca has just emulates that. She just has that presence. She got it. I call her B though.
Excuse me, Beyonce only knows B. Oh no, that's B.
That's Queen B.
Queen B, yep, she's the Queen B. The Beehive may come out.
I just want to point out, Shantae just swung an imaginary braid, and she did a great job, man. I want to give her an AJ Styles Barbie Pound for, swinging her braid. She was whipping her hair back and forth. Marcus.
So you trying to say Shantae has a history? She has a future of being a mime. Is that what you're saying?
Wow. You the hater, man. You trying to bring stuff up, and Manny's going out his screen.
They're not Manny. Put that on your resume, Manny. Go ahead now.
Manny's the box.
But
that's it. This is no longer about wrestling. This is now a mime YouTube channel, guys.
But Marcus,
we no longer talk. We no longer talk anymore. It's pure mime.
Marcus, did you enjoy that they revisited what happened on Monday Night Raw with Nia Jax's hole?
Yeah, it was okay. It was fine. I was more invested into the Sasha and Bianca thing. Because I'm waiting for Sasha to turn up because she's a snake. She's a snake. You can tell she's a snake when she came out when Bianca's man just finished a match and she started trying to dance up on her. I'm just saying, there was some drama right there. That he should have been dancing with her and they should have cut to Bianca cussing his ass out. You know I'm going to challenge him for that belt, right? This is some bullshit.
So wait. What would you expect to happen? Montez to clock her with whatever was in that cup.
I don't know why. I expected him to be a man. Okay?
He wasn't being a man. He danced with her.
But she needs to go stop her man, and Dawkins needs to go out there and protect his boy and have her walk away.
Taz had just got a haircut. He was feeling himself. He saw her non-river mask. He was like, what Taz was doing, and I can tell you what he was doing. He was like, let me dance with her to help her find the beat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dance with her so she can just vibe off of me and then she can be on beat. It did not help. Did not help at all. But that's what she wanted to do. But
no, they're off again. I thought she had some breakdown, some analysis on the dance moves. Shantae from watching Dancing with the Stars, or So You Think You Can Dance. I don't know. How many dance shows? The Masked Dancer.
So SmackDown concluded with Kevin Owens coming into the ring, and he stunned everybody insight. Then he looked in the camera.
So you're not even giving credit to the match.
No, I mean, Daniel Bryan and Cesaro won. Come on, man. We talked about that earlier. He stunned everybody. Then he looked directly into the camera and he said, Roman Reigns, I'm coming for you. Marcus, Roman had the disgusting look like, I can't get rid of this man. Do you understand Roman's pain?
Yes, I'm happy he finally got a TV in his office, though. Because before, he would have to walk out the room and go stand awkwardly at a TV. So, I don't feel Kevin Owens going to win. I got Jey Uso winning the chamber, at least. Stopping Kevin Owens.
And then laying down for Roman afterwards.
Yes. And being told to lay down, acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. You get a full moment of that.
It makes a good story. Shantae, turn to you. How did you like the conclusion of SmackDown being the last wrestling show that you watched yesterday?
It was good. Back to you.
All right, with some wise words from Sharpie Wife right there. We appreciate her chiming in on that one.
Wait. Shantae, how was Kevin Owens' skin?
I mean, it was all right. Did he have like did he have like a mustache or a beard or something like that on his face?
Yeah, he had a beard.
Yeah, it looked kind of baby smooth type of look he had going on. So yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, he's kind of pale, so you can't really tell what type of skin condition he has.
Don't shake your head. This is how we got away with getting more than just a one-word answer.
I'm into the skin. We really have an honest
skin. We don't get this type of analysis when it's just us three.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played.
Hear about Lee Johnson's skin on AEW Dynamite to see if he had good skin or not. Or Cody. Let's get to Dynamite.
Well, Marcus, we're going to move to Dynamite because I figured I was going to conclude with NXT since they have their show tomorrow night, Valentine's Vengeance or something like that. But we're going to get to AEW. And I will give everybody, when I watched AEW with Shantae, I did not elude any of my displeasures, any of my dislikes. I let her enjoy the show or not enjoy the show under her own, her own opinion. So I did not influence anything at all.
Yeah, I'm glad you were going with you. I had her under no duress. Make her say anything.
I made her watch this under gunpoint.
I did not tie her up, and I did not tell her to, hey, you know what? You're gonna hate this. I did not do that. And surprisingly, the very first match,
you did not help yourself with tying her up in this chat. Why did you even go that route?
Hey, these people are nasty, man. What can I say? Anyway, so the first match was Darby Allin versus Joey Janela. As much as I wanted to hate this match, as much as Joey Janela does not deserve to be in this match, I enjoyed this match. I thought this was a solid way to open up the show. Manny, you have hit your forehead in disgust and looks like you're about to walk out of the room. Manny, why do you disagree with what I'm saying?
I'm going to take a drink.
You are the man that says you can't make any money with Joey Janela. And I was very confused why these two went off. They started this match as an actual wrestling match. I was very confused. Were you discombobulated by that?
Manny,
that's why you enjoyed this match.
You have got the black people confused on this show. I actually at one point was really high on Joey Janela. If you remember, him and Sonny Kiss was a tag team. Marcus is the man who said he can make no money with Joey Janela. He is the man who hates Joey Janela. And Marcus, I turn to you. What did you think? I can see by your face. What did you think about this match between Joey Janela and Darby Allin?
Man, fuck Joey Janela. Shoot. Honestly, you can't. There's nothing there. And to go with Manny, I was shocked that they didn't run through some tables. There were no attacks there. No one tried to stab each other's eye out or nothing like that. No shenanigans. And he had a regular-ass wrestling match. And you know what, Eric? I'm going to agree with you. They had a solid match, and I will applaud them. But you can't make no money with no Joey Janela and those little-ass boots. Get him off my TV. Terrible.
Wow. Shantae, I turn to you. This was the opening match. Darby Allin against Joey Janela. First, of course, Manny would like to know about their skin treatment. I know Darby had his paint. But what was your overall impression of how AEW Dynamite started off?
Okay, so remind me, was this this big chunky guy with the ponytail, and then the other guy had the half face?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. It was funny. It was entertaining. That's all I got to say. And why does that guy, his name he's the bad guy or badass or what is it?
The bad boy.
The bad boy. There you go. What? How did that come about? Like, why is he the bad boy?
He's Pete Diddy's son.
He's part of the bad boy label.
Yeah, bad boy for life.
Was an extra in the movie Bad Boys 3.
To answer that question, he came in with that name, and no one knows why he is the bad boy. It just doesn't matter. For me, I felt this was the peak of AEW. Then I felt everything else went downhill from there. It was the peak.
Speaking of the segment, though, how did you feel?
Huh?
Sting wasn't out there like they promised.
No,
we didn't get Sting. They said they were going to be out there. How did you feel about that? They didn't show up, and you didn't have to deal with their shenanigans to start the show.
Hey, Grant Smurf, take care of yourself, man. Have a good one. I just felt that, like, for all the stuff that they promised me, where this is where Sting would be involved, this is where Taz and them would be involved, nothing happened. They had a clean, straight match, I guess, to give Darby Allin more credibility. But, I mean, Joey Janela ain't won a match. I mean, technically, his win-loss record is probably just as bad as Lee Johnson.
No, I believe he's white. He's probably got a better record.
Yeah,
they don't let black people. They don't let black people that wins in AEW. Yeah.
Well, Lee
Big
Johnson
Swole should be the number one contender for that title, but they don't let her do shit because she Big Swole.
So as we move on, it was Cody Rhodes, Lee Johnson going against Peter Avalon and Cesar Bonini. First of all, Cesar was probably the most awkward big man in the game. I think he might be vying for the title of worst big man in the game simply for his stomach tattoo, which I don't even know what type of tattoo that was. I did not like this match. I did not like anything about it, and I normally like Cody in this situation. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish except for appeasing letting a black man win in the month of February with Lee Johnson. And I guess it was supposed to be a feel-good moment, but he ain't never on TV, so I didn't feel anything. Marcus, what about you?
This is a white savior match right here. Cody Rhodes, man, to get his first victory. This is bullshit. I don't understand why we had a celebration like he done won the championship for the 7th time. He is 1-29. I ain't never seen. I would slap him in the back of the head if I was his coach. We won one game, and you happy out here 29? And then AEW come out, we've signed Lee Johnson. It don't mean shit that you signed Lee Johnson. I ain't signed you. He's somebody to be on a 10-day contract and didn't do good in his 10-day contract to get signed. Hell with this.
Now I'll turn to Shantae. Shantae, do you remember anything about this tag match that would make you have at least some words to say?
Well, you pointed out Cody Rhodes' tattoo, so that's why I was looking at the whole time. That was it. So I was like, what is that? And I kept asking you, and then the match was over. And then there was this guy.
You entire match wondering about that tattoo.
Yeah, Eric, the influencer, not the pay attention to that. If you never pointed out the next tattoo, she would have been able to say, this is the best Cody Rhodes match he's ever saw. She could have said it.
Manny, do you have any opinion on this match right here?
Well, your boy got injured during this match, Cody Rhodes. Tore his a small tear to his rotator cuff. But, however, the match against Shaq happening in March is still due to happen.
Yeah. So,
Can't wait. Is that going to be one of our match reviews?
No.
I'm telling you now, I'm firing every coach in the Nightmare family. If Lee Johnson could go 0-29, I'm firing every coach that is in that Nightmare family wrestling school.
I want to also point out that El Luchador is correct. When I saw Cesar Bonini, he does have a reverse tramp stamp, and it was as bad altogether. I just didn't like
Former
it.
NXT recruit.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's a former NXT recruit. Moving on to the next match of the night, we had Pac going against Ryan Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler's brother, I'm going to turn to Shantae for this match. Shantae, what did you think about this match between Pac and Ryan Nemeth?
Nemeth.
I think it's Nemeth. And I'm like, is he saying it wrong? I've been saying it wrong all this time. Brother can't read.
Nemeth? Is that
Nemeth.
was that how you say it? Nemeth. Oh, okay. That's Dolph Ziggler's brother, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was like doing a lot of overselling in that match. He was just so dramatic. But he looked cute though. So he looked better than Dolph Ziggler. I didn't even know that was his brother. They didn't look.
Okay, Shantae. So,
Yes.
Mr. Nemeth goes by the Hollywood Hunk. Does that name suit him much like the name the Bad Boy suits Joey Janela in the opening match?
Not even. They're not the same. Joey Janela, or whatever his name is, doesn't go with him. He just looks like that other guy on WWE, that one that walks like this.
Oh, she called Fat as Otis.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what you look like to me. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I got. Back to you.
Chris, she was not dragged through all this wrestling. She said she wanted to give it a go and see how it worked out. She survived. She is okay.
She was Doc Alley in the body bag in the next segment.
Marcus, Sting is still in hot pursuit, Marcus. He's still in hot pursuit. But because we're 20 minutes away from our appointment with IRS, we have to keep this show moving along. Do you guys have anything to add between Pac and Ryan Nemeth?
Darby Allin got dragged through the streets. Sting is still just going like, damn, I'm 61 years old. I don't need this shit.
and again, I'm going to stress Bullet Bob Armstrong was faster than 61-year-old Sting. And he was 70.
He's faster now, Manny. He's faster now. And he's dead.
So now we're going to get to the next match. It's the Acclaim versus Chris Jericho and MJF. So much happened in this match, but so much I didn't care. I'm already over the Acclaim for whatever reason. His rapping bothers me more than what John Cena had more personality than the guy that's rapping for the Acclaim. But then this was just a match to leave for Sammy Guevara to leave the Inner Circle, which I'm happy for, but everyone else should have walked out of the Inner Circle. I'm tired of the Inner Circle. We don't need this anymore. Manny, I know you agree with me, so I'm going to go to you first.
Well, first of all, I enjoyed the Acclaim clapping Jericho. I feel like Jericho finally got what he deserved at one point. Yeah, but I'm done with the Inner Circle. I was done in November. Even when Sami Zayn referenced...
At least he wasn't going to November.
Sammy Guevara referenced that, in December, if he any more anything going on with him and I'm leaving. Yeah, I was done then. This whole segment was trash, and we're not going to see Sammy Guevara for a while, but I need the rest of them to disappear for a while.
I agree. Marcus, do you agree with Manny and his analysis?
I just feel like this storyline's being dragged down. It's been going on since MJF gone on. We all know what's going to happen. It seems like MJF is either taking over or whatever. This is long and dragged out, and I'm just happy that there was progress in this movement in this story. Like, he's gone. I'm sure there's going to be another episode when they're trying to win Sammy back. And then, that's going to go nowhere. This is going to drag on and on. And I hope it ends soon. Just get to the point. Get to the point. Just get to the turn.
And Sharpie Wife, do you have anything to add to this match with Jericho, his cohorts, and everything going on?
The guy that quit, right? From that group. That was the only issue. Only issue. That was the only concern I had because he looked like he was running away, like, a kid that ran away from home. And I just want to know if he's okay. That's all.
He's okay, Shantae. He went out the face tunnel.
Yes.
He went to the face tunnel. He's going to be okay.
Somebody who might not be okay, that is Adam Page. Because
can I jump in real quick and just say one thing? Shantae should not show too much sympathy for him since he said he was going to rape Sasha Banks at one point.
Marcus,
for real?
It was a bad joke that he said that it implied
it went wrong.
The cancel culture went after him really, really, really bad. Speaking of bad, Adam Page signed with Matt Hardy. I don't care, and we need to get to NXT. Do you guys care?
No, I actually listened to Marcus on the show because I thought he signed that dodgy contract, and then I saw the switcheroo.
He didn't sign the contract.
No, you didn't see switcheroo either?
No.
He didn't switch.
I'm the only one.
Because you're the only one that cares about Matt Hardy.
No, I don't. You guys care about Matt Hardy because Matt Hardy, when he was looking at the camera, was talking gibberish, and you see Hangman Page switch the contract. Oh, am I the only person on this planet that have seen that? God damn it.
You can't hear it, but Shantae is agreeing with you too, Marcus. Shantae is agreeing with you. She saw it.
It was blatant.
But I also saw that Matt Hardy from the side profile looked like Michael Jackson.
Ooh.
So that's it.
You talk about white Michael too. You're not talking about black Michael.
Moving on to something that I feel like AEW really disrespected the participants. And this is the match between Thunder Rosa and Layla Hirsch. I thought they had a very good match in this makeshift tournament that they're not giving any true respect to. This is a real tournament that's taking place. It's like, you don't even give me no graphics. You don't give me no brackets before the match. It's just like a throwaway match in the middle of the show. And why is there only one qualifying match per week? We need more than that. It's a lot of wrestling going on. Marcus, what did you think of this?
No, a lot of it's going to be on their YouTube on something, on Dark or Monday or something like that. So, I thought it was a good match. I think Thunder Rosa is carrying and holds her busy, even though she's not a part of their company. There was a dive in the match. I wanted to say how about that dive, but I'm not, because I want to compare the dive between this and Dominic's dive when Dominic tried to kill himself. Back on SmackDown. I thought they were both reckless. Both good dives, though.
How about that dive?
How about that dive? Manny! How about that dive?
No, you can't say that when it ain't Ray Phoenix.
I know. It's not the same. Bring Ray Phoenix back.
All right. I'm going to turn to Shantae for the main event because I know she has a little bit more than a couple of words to say about the main event because we actually fell asleep on the main event together. The main event was Kenny Omega and Kenta going against Jon Moxley and Lance Archer. Shantae, what did you think about the main event?
I was confused, first of all. Let's get that out of the way. I know what was going on. All I know, there was some potatoes thrown, and that could be used as baked potatoes, potato salad, or gnocchi. That's all I was mad about. And when they was walking up, I don't know if it was a ramp. It was like this brick wall on the side. No one utilized that. I mean, I guess that's not good because you don't want no one going to the hospital. But
you wanted more damage and cut. You wanted somebody's back to be broken on a brick wall.
Right.
How did you not use the brick wall? Ron Strowman would have ran to that wall. I'll tell you that right now. Use that wrong.
El Luchador says the main event was fire. Manny, I turn to you. Do you think that the main event was fire?
Potatoes were used as weapons, Eric. Potatoes. How are you not going to say this was a good match when you could have been attacked by a potato? You freeze those suckers will hurt.
They would. Potatoes hurt.
Well, clearly, Marcus, did you like the main event?
It was alright. You know, it was solid. It was false count anyway. It was the one time AEW has stuck to a rule that they decided, a stipulation in their match. But even though it was false count anywhere, my only problem is that it ended in the ring. You put the fall somewhere else. You had the whole arena. You had a full empty arena to do this. But yet you chose to just pin them in the ring. And it was Lance Archer, your boy, the Murder Hawk, Eric.
You know,
why did the Good Brothers come out there earlier? Just beat the ass earlier.
That was my biggest takeaway from the match. Is like the way that you had to finish is that the Good Brothers come out and help them win the match. And it's like they went across all this arena. They threw potatoes. They did all this stuff. Like, why at this point did you feel that they didn't have enough to get the job done to end it right? I mean, I can get how people like this style of wrestling, but for me, I didn't think it had enough context for me to really enjoy what was going on in the match. Maybe it was just too complicated for me. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm old. Yeah, I just think there was just so much going on. Just so much going on. It's
actually less than what they do in their normal tag matches. It was actually pretty straightforward compared to their regular tag matches, where you have the referee on the outside of the ring, people jumping over stuff, then you have some Pentecost getting involved. Like, that's normally their normal tag matches. This was actually coherent to me. Eric put a pause for a dramatic effect.
I was typing in the chat room, but that was AEW.
Why?
It happened.
Speak out loud.
It happened. So now we turn over to the money show of the week, going into their pay-per-view that I don't have enough time probably to preview because I only got 10 minutes. We're talking about NXT. The first round of the Dusty Classic.
Yeah, man, we got Twitty.
To get to the finals, it was MSK going against Legado del Fantasma. Marcus, once again, you have not been impressed by MSK yet. Marcus, has Nash Carter and Wes Lee brought you into the fold yet?
I think they did, just to make fun of you and try to spit their name out. Oh, I thought it was a solid match. I thought this was one of their better matches. The push flip moves, even though Manny disagreed with me, I thought worked this week.
No. He said, he even attributed how about that dive to that spot. If you push a man when he's in midair, he's falling.
I mean, the fact is that if Nash Carter is stupid enough to do a flip dive, and if his partner doesn't push him, he's gonna land on the hardest part of the ring. I don't know if you should be doing this move. That's just because especially since we sacrificed Nia Jax's hole this week on that same area of the ring. I'm not 100% sure you should be doing a flip dive right there.
He did it, Eric, but the point is he did it. I was happy that MSK, a real tag team, made it to the final. Because, you never know it. The Dusty Classic. They showed the previous winners, and you go, hey, none of these people are tag teams. Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, hey, never happening again.
Shantae, what did you feel about the opening match of NXT? It was the young kids, that threw the hands down like that, and then it was the guy who had the gold pants. They had the gold pants, and you said the pants was just doing too much.
He had to get up the gray when he was staring into the tomb of whatever, Moria, and he's like, I have no memory of this place whatsoever.
Because I'm really trying to recall it.
Shantae, if you don't have a memory, it's okay. We can move on from it. It's okay.
Okay.
I'll ask you, what did you feel about Cora Jade and Xia Li with meantime? What's the
Mailing.
Ian Shaw, attorney at law.
Caden Carter tried to get involved in the business. She had no business involved with what's going on. Trying to tell Xia Li that she ain't that person. I believe they should have whooped her ass. Do you agree with that, Shantae?
Why did he get involved in ancient shit?
I don't know.
It's down to your own business. It's down to your own business.
Yeah, so that person that was sitting on the throne is a lady? Man hands.
1,000-year-old lady.
Okay, well, yeah, they need to be getting up in that business. So yeah, stick to whatever y'all doing on your end, and she need to do what she got to do. Now she was trying to apologize, and that other guy got choked out. I was like, dang, that sucks. But that's it. That's all I got.
As I told Shantae before we had watched Smackdown, I was like, that's the black side of Caden Carter getting away, getting somebody's business that she had no business being in there. Caden should just stuck.
She should have known better.
Manny, you might not know, but the black side is very convincing to getting other people's business.
You create the black side like the dark side of the force.
It's like, we don't need to get involved in this. Don't tell me what I need to do. I gotta let them know. Xia Li is not like this. She was spicy at one point.
I got some facts about this. Boa is now the worst big man in the game because the simple fact he has one job to do, and he could have kept Caden Carter and KC Catanzaro away, but Xia Li had to move both of them up and that jobber just so they would stay away from T.N. Shaw, attorney-in-law, who has her bad back. Because she would have whooped that ass herself if she could just get out of that chair as a 12-year-old back. She could not move. She was stuck like that, Eric.
Speaking of not getting out of a chair, for whatever reason, Johnny Gargano, who suffered an arm injury, was confined to a wheelchair that the Way had to explain to everybody that his arm had him be in the wheelchair. Shantae, they can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
We heard her.
Oh, okay. With that being said, I enjoyed the Way segment more than I should have. I thought it was hilarious. Johnny Gargano is really coming to his own as being a leader of this faction. Manny, what did you feel?
I liked it, but then it became too much of the Way as you look at NXT as a whole. It was just far too much of it.
Marcus, do you agree that you had too much in the Way?
Oh, you took what I was going to use. You took my pun. I feel like the Way did get in the way. I enjoyed the opening segment that he's in a wheelchair because he likes to swing his arms when he walks. So he can't do that, so he can't walk. So I enjoyed all of that. But, throughout the show, it was just like, oh, it's too much. We know where it's going. It's a pool farce. But as Manny brought up, the entire internet was worked this week. They were all worked thinking Johnny Gargano was out of TakeOver for no reason. For no reason, the entire internet was worked. That's why wrestling reporters ain't shit, because they have no real information. They have nothing, and they just get worked.
Speaking of ain't shit, we're going to talk about the match that took place that involved the Way. It was Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell going against Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. I will turn it over to Sharpie Wife to speak on her impression of this match.
Hey.
Ember Moon was just sloppy. I mean, just looking real raggedy out there. And I don't know what she brought to the table. The other girl seemed like she did everything. What's her name? With the green hair.
That's
the one my niece doesn't like for some unknown reason. But yeah, it was It was something else, and she kept holding that stomach, that pudge. Poor thing. Yeah, she needs some help. She need a makeover. Seriously.
That was her makeover. What you're saying?
She needs to go back to the drawing board, man. She needs to go back to the drawing board because that was awful. That's all I got.
Manny, I'll turn to you so you can follow up the hate that Shantae gave to Ember, because I know you have that hate in your heart. It probably makes you extremely happy to hear someone else agree that Ember Moon is trash.
Hang on. You agree with me that Ember Moon is trash as well. So it's a three-way connection.
Manny, we're not bringing up my opinion because I'm just a host in this situation. We're talking about your perspective.
How dare you? As a collective, we spent hours on your AEW hate, and then you're trying to claim you're just a host. How dare you?
My opinion, though.
You know what? Both of you can.
You can kiss my grave.
There we go. That's what you both can do. All right? That's what you can. All right? Shit.
Yeah, you made me wait for that, so that didn't play off very well. I knew it was coming.
That's all right. But speaking of things coming, he discovered video games. He got paid. He didn't saw dogs because, he didn't never like no cats because they got 9 lives and that don't mean shit. Man, my boy Cameron Grimes came back and he took NXT to the moon and I was happy. Marcus, you've always hated Cameron Grimes. Do you still hate him? Do you still hate him now that he got money?
I've been a fan of Cameron Grimes since the word jump. Okay? And Cameron wants to send money my way and let me drive around in his Lamborghini that I know I can't fit in. I would be thankful for him. But I thought he was entertaining, and I thought this is a new dimension of Cameron Grimes, and I can't wait for him to lose all his money. Just can't wait for him. Because that's where this is going. He's losing it all.
Manny, what about you? Did you enjoy Cameron Grimes' return, but he didn't buy him a $5,000 silk shirt?
I love all of this, and I want him to become the new $1 Million Man. I want him to start buying people. I want him to have people like goons around with him. I need this big money Cameron Grimes to go straight to the moon.
Shantae, you laughed so much at him talking about kissing everyone to kiss his grits. He wasn't going to do anything else. Would you act the same way if you got as much money as Cameron Grimes allegedly has gotten?
No, that's not my character. Not me. But I would have to say, once you give someone that doesn't have anything money, was a person, that was him. Because he just was all over the place. But it was funny. It was very entertaining.
So, to quote Rick James, you should have navigated this nigga money. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Because now
that's what I was trying not to say.
I mean, at the end of the day, he just went around telling everybody to.
You can kiss my grits.
I mean, that's what it is. Because that's what I would do if I got that money. F you, boss. Kiss my grits. F you, person.
I ain't fight Dexter Lewis.
Huh?
He said, I ain't fight Dexter Lewis no more. Can't tell me nothing.
I find zombies no more. You can kiss my grits. I mean, everything you kiss is grits. The main event was Ciampa teaming up with Thatcher going against GYV. This was probably the hardest match of the night to predict because I did not know who was going to win. I thought for some reason they could give the win to Ciampa and Thatcher, but I really wanted GYV to win. Shantae was not a fan of Zach Gibson. Nope, sorry. Is it James Drake? Whoever has his own likeness on his tights. She did not like
James
that.
Drake.
Shantae, did you like the main event for NXT?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was all right. I don't know why I thought Ciampa, am I saying that right? I don't know why I thought he, would brought more to the wrestling match because I remember him fighting before, looking at a match back, I don't know, a while ago. And it just didn't seem like he had the same energy to me in that match. So I was kind of disappointed. But, it was okay.
So,
That's all I got.
so she didn't feel like he had that same blood hate lust that he had when he was fighting Johnny Gargano in that situation. Marcus, the main event for NXT, did you enjoy it?
I did, and I didn't know which way it was going to go, like you said. Do we go with the created makeshift tag team or the established tag team? I was rooting for GYV. I'm rooting for them to win the whole thing. But who knows at this point? I thought it was a solid match.
Manny, what about you? The main event, how did you? Were you impressed by it?
I enjoyed it. I'm just waiting for this tournaments to end because I'm a bit tag teamed out at the moment. I need a break from tag team wrestling.
You can thank AEW for that.
No, and you think everybody. I was really upset with Sonya Deville when she was like the Elimination Chamber was going to be turned by tag team match plan. I was like, no, we've gotten so many tag team matches. I can't take anymore.
I didn't want to besmirch one last person before I get to the emails. The thing is, Scarlett got her way for Cross. She was inside of Regal's office. She was scantily clad, as Marcus said. It should have changed to black and white because that's what it looked like it was going on. Marcus, do you think it really took that much to get that match against Santos Escobar?
Nah, she hoeing to be hoeing, man. He had no reason to be doing that. No reason to be doing that. Regal was not expecting that. And all he had to do was ask. It seemed like the writing was on the wall anyway. No one was going to deny this match. Santos Escobar was down to fight him. He was going to do the fight him first. But it seemed like this was overkill. She went in there thinking, I don't know how Regal operate, but I'm going to go in there. I'm going to hold him up for it. And Cross was pimping. He told her to do it. You got to go in there. You got to sexy it up for him.
Manny, do you have anything to add before I get to these emails?
As I said on Thursday, she went in that office like a classy prostitute.
Manny, those are called call girls.
She went in there with some dignity.
You're going to have to grovel for this. So our first email comes from the Dizman. He says, it's been a while since we heard from him. He's been gone, put the kids to bed because it's time to get it on because the guy with the rhymes is back on the scene. It's the Dizman, folks, fresh and clean. What's really good, Sharpies, was really good. To begin our time together, I want to say that it's been a while since I've written in. Please know that my departure wasn't out of anger, but it's for two reasons. The first reason was medical. I had some problems with my toe, and while I believe it was a minor problem, on November 25th, 2020, my podiatrist said that it was gangrene. It was even believed that they would have to amputate my toe. They weren't sure what caused it, so because of that, I went on what I called a world tour of tests. I didn't even go to work for a little over a month. Eventually, after all the tests, they ended up finding that I had a blood clot in my heart. Oh my. Oh. Thankfully, it's not as serious as it sounds. My blood platelets are higher than they should be. So I have to take Eliquis twice a day and one other pill and get my blood checked every week. Again, I say thankfully because so far it's working. My platelets are lowering, my toe is much better, and I don't have to get surgery or anything. You know what? God is good. Blessed be his name. You know, we're God. I mean, I got religious right there, and I normally don't.
Hallelujah.
But you know, sometimes you're like, it's weird. Like you would never know that a toe that had this, that it was connected to a bigger problem, and that's always something that is so scary in that situation. The other reason I was away is because while I was off from work, I learned more about the travel industry, and also I want to be a motivational speaker and a motivational life coach. So I've been studying and looking into what I need to do to make that happen. The last thing I've been up to is I've started working on episode 3 of the AWO series, tentatively titled AWO Big Time Players Episode 3, Card Subject to Change. By the way, please swing by Amazon and pick up a copy of AWO Big Time Players Episode 1, The Beginning of Change, and AWO Big Time Players Episode 2, Continue to Grow. You can get both books for $15.98, not a piece, but as a set. Basically, the Disman has been busy.
You went down once, it had to be $59. I had to be a typo.
You may not hear from me as much, but just know I am still a Sharpie. I am still a fan of the show, and this is still my favorite show. Well, second favorite. Gentleman Discussion is now my favorite. Now that's over, I wanted to get to some wrestling talk. It's no secret that, how should I put this? Well, to paraphrase Little Fame from MOP in the song SAR remix, if you Google who loves AEW, y'all names ain't there. Now, you explain your reasons why you don't, and I totally get it, but I think this analogy as to why I like it will explain why other people like it. How many of you have either played or at least heard of the video game NBA Live? It's a fun game, very realistic, and it even looks like an actual NBA broadcast. Now then, remember the game NBA Jam? Not very realistic, not very but fun. I still remember ducking from half court and catching on fire. Basically, NBA Live is like WWE, and NBA Jam is AEW. Both are based off the same thing but presented in different fashion. Neither are perfect, but they each have an audience it appeals to. Oh, I wanted to say something about AEW's ranking. I get why it upsets you, but I think that's the rankings are not the same as contenderships. Rankings play a part in contendership, but it doesn't guarantee a title shot. I believe only the top 5 ranked are even thought of when it comes to getting title shots. Although I will admit that they need to do a better job of letting people know that. Moving on, I think no matter what wrestling you like, it all boils down to one thing: fun. When you finish watching the show, did you have a good time? Watching a Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks match is fun for some with all the flips of whatnot, while someone else may find joy from a backstage segment with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Basically, wrestling is all about taste, and as long as you're drawing an audience, you're doing a good job. Thoughts? Finally, I have a question. Do you feel like the behind-the-scenes stuff plays a big part in our enjoyment of wrestling? I mean, why does what the casual fan think? Anyway, Sharpies, I'm going to go, but you guys take care, and remember, if you think you can, you will. Later, guys. Signed, the Disman. Marcus, answer his questions.
Whew. No, you got. I'm going to say answer one word and make you read again. I know you tired. I don't care about the behind the scenes stuff in wrestling. That's like me caring about anything else. You know, like, hey, this movie, this happened there. I don't care. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. But that being said, I don't know if I agree with the NBA Jam, NBA Live analogy.
Marcus, I'm going to have to cut you off real quick because we're going to have to lose the Sharpie wife because she has to go talk to our taxman right now. So please thank her for joining us as we conclude our emails.
All right, later. Emails? There's another one?
Yeah, we have more. Chris has emails.
Snaps.
Go ahead, Shantae.
Well, thank you guys again for having me on. I hope to do it again and have more to bring to you instead of just skincare routines. And
we joke about that, but that added to just the regular stuff we do.
Yeah. There's only so much hate we can give up about a dive or someone not following the rules, or Aubrey Edwards having a stroke, which we didn't even bring up in the middle of the show. Aubrey Edwards had that stroke in the middle of a match. I hope y'all know that. Or someone was controlling her with a voodoo doll.
Y'all can bring it up in your, what is it, ABW? Is that what it is? No, I'm not saying it right.
No, you said it right, but we're legit wrestling right now.
Okay.
I have a feeling ABW's coming up today. Mainly because we spoke about children's movies on Tuesday.
Before you go, Shantae, Tony Bright said, great first show, Sharpie White. Two questions. What's something about Eric that someone will find shocking?
Audio's off.
And in closing, can you make Eric give us a cooking show, please?
Oh, now I don't hear him at all. I don't know what happened. I don't hear Eric at all.
Sorry, two questions. What's something about Eric that someone will find shocking? And in closing, can you make Eric give us a cooking show?
Yes, I am working on the cooking show because I have been on his butt about that too. So, no worries. I'm gonna get it done. But something shocking about Eric that will surprise people. Shoot. I don't know. I guess I would. I can't say he's sensitive because I think y'all see that when he gets defensive of what you guys say.
Oh yeah, sensitive that way, yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking know you are, Eric.
I do. Hey, I know who the fuck I am.
This is one thing.
Oh, here we go, musty balls.
He might not like what I say, but you know, he was a poet.
What?
He was a poet. In our early times together, he wrote me a lot of stuff, and it was beautiful. And I'm not just being biased.
Did you keep any of it, Shantae?
Oh, I do.
Next time you're on, can you read one?
No!
I would love to hear this.
I don't want to hear it. I refuse to.
Let me do a recap of Eric.
You could have just ignored the question. You could have technically ignored the question, and we wouldn't have known about this.
Shantae, Mr. S is waiting. Babe, you need to go hop on the Zoom call with our tax man.
Okay.
Hold on.
Thank you for having me.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Who is that? She probably shouldn't be wearing that. This is the rhyme. It's Eric insulting people. And then he goes, I love you. And it's like, what? That ain't a poll. Good job, Eric.
Okay. Bye, guys. And thank you to the listener.
I know. I had nothing.
I don't have the link for the meeting.
No worries. I'll call him. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Later.
So let me, as I switch the screen so we can finish our last couple of emails because everything's going to look probably really wonky right now. So let me turn that off. Nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not it.
Nope. I can't wait to see this part of YouTube.
There you go.
Excuse me.
It's
a tender moment. A rare tender moment.
You embarrassed, Eric.
No.
Good. Sit up.
Let's try to get the cameras back. Oh Jesus, that's really bad. Let me zoom Marcus out a little bit. Whereas if you want people to see the top of your head, feel free. I don't care. It's your head. It's not mine. On the fly modifications to finish the email.
Wow, you still have to prepare.
I thought I could get it done before then. So anyway, our next email comes from Chris. Hi, Manny. Hello, Marcus.
I thought I was just going to say hi, Manny.
No.
Like,
Let's point out Eric just has Eric with an angry face at the end. At least you guys got emojis with shades on it. So I already know where I'm coming in on this to start with things. These people really do test my faith of not snapping on their asses. I get back home after a week hiatus. As I try to open the front door while it's jammed, oh, my moronic effing roommates have their shoes piled up behind it. And for what? There's 2 goddamn shoe racks off to the side, one of which is completely empty. So what do? I kicked every one of those motherfuckers with my wet boots across to the empty shoe rack. I swear, sometimes I forget that book smarts don't equate to common sense. Now on to you, Manny. I've been meaning to ask you this for decades now. How exactly does one become a lord in merry old England?
You just call yourself one, don't you?
Manny, you're actually born into your lordship. You're usually a descendant of the royal family, like a cousin or something like that, where you're like
you couldn't. I said it's a land and call yourself a lord.
I don't know. Shit, I would just maybe that's how you become a duke and a duchess or duchess.
But you can also be knighted by the queen.
Also be knighted.
That makes you a
you
sir.
You can also get be.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Clearly, we don't know the answer. But he has an answer a question maybe you can answer, Manny. What made you decide to join the Sharpshooters?
What?
What made you decide to join the Sharpshooters?
I thought there was more to that question.
You didn't put the question mark in the end. What made you decide to be part of
I don't know. I think it just happened, didn't it?
Honestly, let me tell you what happened. Manny appeared on one show during the pandemic. He was like, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to do. He kept doing it. He had fun, and he stayed.
And we paid him really well.
And then we got our own. Then we did our own show.
And the last question for you, Manny: what is your earliest memory of wrestling?
WrestleMania 9. See, it would be the Fuji spot, but Fuji was involved. But it was when Hulk Hogan decided to take over from Brett and then challenge Yokozuna at the end of that match. The impromptu WWE title match.
All right, and Marcus, your questions he has questions.
Have you guys seen?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, but did you see the Yoko documentary where they talk about that?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
So they talk about WrestleMania 9 and what happened with that and how Hogan is responsible for that. And which he was going to leave and they were going to do some tour or something. And Hogan's like, wouldn't it be great if I had the title? And Vince was like, that's a great idea.
Now, Marcus, he asked
Wait, did this happen during the match?
This is like the weekend of. Everybody, Yoko was going to win throughout. And then, you know, everybody seems to be upset about this ending.
So, Marcus, Chris says, have you ever met a girl that you tried to date, but a year to make love, she wanted you to wait? No, seriously, Marcus, you seem like the most don't give a damn chill dude ever. Keep that up. Need more like you.
I give a damn. I think things personal. I don't know. I appreciate you.
You know, as for me, he says, Eric, 3 angry emojis. And for Chris, I say,
you can kiss my grin.
And to next time, I remember.
First time you've used it correctly.
I wanted you to hit the wrong button and say, oh, my hole. Right?
You want me to do this?
Do the table.
Until next time, I remember waiting for Dan Lay to teach me how to dance. He has more emails to keep going.
More emails?
Yeah, I thought it was domestic in those emails. I was like, those are wrestling questions? They kept it simple.
He says, lost opportunity. Any of y'all have a celebrity crush? Mine is Janae Aiko. Don't judge me. Where oh where have all the black folk gone?
Is that how you say it?
I can't never get it right, but I do like. I'm a big fan of hers. Wes from B More, the book writer guy. Eric when he was black. Ryan Grunge Smurf.
Eric when he was black.
Hell, Luchador could be one of us. Perhaps if Marcus isn't too scared to accept this challenge, we can find out. The man who died at the dock is the only one who I can confidently know of his whereabouts. What needs to happen? Naomi and Lana win the tag belts, show up on NXT and lose them to the winner of the Women Dusty's Cup, to Dakota Kai and Tall Sonya. What will happen? Nia and Shayna stay together even though they don't like each other and continue giving me reasons not to watch Raw. Wasn't the women's tag belt supposed to float between shows? Well, damn it, I'm tired and a big hungry and thirsty. Gonna either make some hot chocolate or burger with peppers, tomatoes, and barbecue sauce or fall asleep. And then one more to his emails. He says, so last night I get to work. One of the cashiers says to me, I was checking your schedule so that I could stalk you, but couldn't find your name. I told her, but gave her a look of what the hell is wrong with you. Then before she leaves, she informs me that I won't see her next week because she's working mid-shift, and I should try not to miss her too much. Okay, done. Then this other time, she asked my manager for my address. No. Then I remember a few days ago when I was going to put my stuff away, I hear, hey, I'm not following you. I just happen to be going in the same direction as she was behind me. Told her if she hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have known. Then last week, she asked if I miss her because I hadn't seen her in a few days and it was okay if I didn't. Honestly, I hadn't given you any thought. The blue hell. Why are crazy people magnets to me? Go talk to your husband if you're lonely. Oh, she's married, so she ain't trying to jump on the... Oh! I thought she was trying to jump on the Chris train.
Scandal.
Well, that concludes all the emails.
I just want to point out, Chris keeps asking Marcus to accept El Luchador's challenge. He did. El Luchador didn't show up, so El Luchador has lost that title match by forfeit. So El Luchador has lost the rights to his mask.
But there's no one to go and enforce his mask his taking of his mask.
It's true. That's true. But do you believe that at some point, at some time, you were in a town where Ultimo Dragon was the heavyweight champion of the world?
What?
Oh, this conversation happened off air on Thursday, and it went on for way too long.
We were just talking about Ultimo Dragon and all the belts he had, and at one point in sometimes town, Ultimo Dragon was their champion. They didn't know.
Oh.
At some point in your life, Eric, Ultimo Dragon was your champion.
I'm pretty sure I was a big fan of Ultimo Dragon, so I appreciate that. That was just like that information to me is like when I told Marcus that Kenny King re-signed with Ring of Honor, and he was like, "Oh, well, that's good for him." It was like no more exciting. I guess that pretty much concludes this show. I will let everybody know that the show might be late next week. We might have an 11:30 start time. I'm hoping I can make it back by 11, but I have an eye doctor appointment so I can actually see, so I can read these emails a little bit with a little bit more clarity.
Oh, and this Tuesday, the Untitled Mania Marcus show might be the last Mania Marcus show on Tuesday.
Due to life-threatening reasons.
I like to think because of me, because I've been trying to cancel that Tuesday show with all the powers that I have. So I had to make a few phone calls to the United Kingdom and talk to the right people in the right places to give Manny assigned more work to actually get him promoted and whatnot. My plan is coming to an end. You know what? Because soon their views will be my level of views and I will be okay with it.
No, never.
What are you talking about? We bring in 200 at minimum 200 views a week.
Yeah, but if I can get that Tuesday slot, all I need to do is get Sharpie Wife with me, and the next thing we can play video games, and next thing you know, my ratings will go to the moon. To the moon.
No, they won't. No,
it sounds like a plot. It does it.
Do you know what I'll do on Tuesdays when I finish work? I will get a top-down camera and I will be sticking in stickers.
Yes!
How dare you
try to?
How dare you try to combat my?
You can kiss my grin.
And I mean that.
I'll come out with juicing with Marcus.
Marcus, what are you gonna do, Marcus?
Juicing with Marcus. It's not even a show where I give you ingredients. It's just gonna be watching me drink juice.
Now, Marcus, I think the show that you need to do.
Watching the show juice.
Marcus, the show that you need to do is called How to Take Care of a Grown-Ass Man. And it's you document how you take care of Ryan. I think that might be the best show that you could do. On that note, I gotta go make some fried chicken sandwiches. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Really?
Yes. Aren't you coming over, Marcus?
I am.
Yeah, so...
I thought you had to do taxes. I guess your wife doing all that.
No, well... Yes, Chris, I am the... You know what?
You can kiss my grin.
I will overuse my sound as much as I can. Damn it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, thank you to the Sharpie Wife, a.k.a. Shantae, for being a part of this show. Hopefully, whenever she wants to commit to another week to do this, we'll invite her on, and we won't have tax restraints. I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny. Hey, Hayes.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale.
And until next week, stay sharp. Peace.
Peace.